Shabbat Shalom, people. It has been a very interesting week. And when I mean interesting, I don't mean interesting in a positive way. I mean interesting in quite a very negative way, in a negative manner. It seems as if we are being sped towards like a rock rolling down a hill. We're being sped towards the coming of the Messiah, the Mashiach. And we want to go through a couple of stuff with you today before we even get into our Bible study of Adam and Eve and other stuff. It's going to be a very long Bible study today. So we hope you guys stay tuned or even just listen. Just, put your volumes up if you have to work in the house or if you have to do whatever you got to do with your kids. Put your volume up and listen to the study today because it's a very important study that we think you may need to listen to. If you are new to the channel, you need to listen to it. If you're not new to the channel, you need to listen to it because a lot of things are going on that we need to pay attention to and that we need to make sure that we are secure in the Most High, that we're studying the Word, that we're staying in the Word right now, because now more than ever, we need to remain in the Word of the Most High because we're tumbling towards the end. Um, we're going to go over a couple of stuff, but before we even go over these things, are we being led towards a civil war in Babylon? I believe we're being led towards a civil war in Babylon. What's going on right now is highly reminiscent of the 2024 Civil War movie because Donald Trump is practically doing the same thing the movie Civil War was doing. Was Civil War a future telling of what they actually plan on doing? Was that it? Right? It's so scary that it's so close. And nobody is talking about it. Nobody's paying attention. I hope you people are preparing yourselves. Some of us we're in this cloud where we believe that nothing can affect us. And I'm not talking people of the Most High. I'm talking people who are doing the harm. Because I'm going to go over a couple of stuff that I think even these people need to pay attention to because these people don't realize that they visit other people's country or even their family members visit these countries that they're deporting people back to. Some of them overstay, some of them buy land, some of them mistreat the people there. And if you really and truly believe that these people are going to go back to their country and see you people there on the resorts, buying up their land, building on their land, and yet still you had the gall in the audacity to force them out of your country and then believe that it's okay for you to stay in theirs. I've heard many stories about white Americans in particular going to Mexico and trying to impose their will on the Mexican people. Do you really and truly believe that these people are going to come back home, go back to their homes peacefully, and see you there, landing around your country, and be okay with it? Is that what you want us to believe? That it's going to be peaceful for you there? Please believe that there are going to be a lot of angry people that see your people there and are probably going to harm them. But you see, a lot of people, I realize nowadays, are not thinking 4 steps in front of their nose. They're not thinking 4 steps in front of their nose. You understand? It's the arrogance of America. Realize that it doesn't matter what ethnicity you are, this land has a thing of basically turning you into somebody who doesn't think clearly and who doesn't think without arrogance.
Because we live in an illusion of luxury compared to like to other countries where we don't have we can walk even in the hood. We can kind of walk wherever we want to. We don't have to worry about certain things. Yeah. Guerrilla warfare and all that other stuff. So, especially in this, and this is just me speaking as a quote unquote Black American. For the white Americans, they never had to deal with nothing in their life at all. At all. It's a game when it come down to the hood. I used to live close to uh, a college, and they would just like mess with black people. And like, I remember one day I was in the I was in the Asian food store, the corner store, getting some food, right? And two white boy college boys, you could tell they didn't belong around here, asked me, do you sell weed? I'm like, just looking, mind you, I was back then, I was dressing like very like preppy and
Mm.
very like nothing from my perspective, nothing like gave off I smoke weed. You know what I mean? But to us, but to them, we all look the same. They think they assume we all smoke weed. They assume we all do this, all do that. Not that they even seen all of us doing that. It's just the arrogance of them and the superiority of them. They think, oh, these black people, they ain't got nothing else to do with smoke weed. They may have some. And the crazy part is I told him, I was like, no. And then he was like, do you know anybody that sells it? I'm like, no.
Exactly.
Like they were looking to score.
Exactly.
So they went into the Chinese store to get some. Because they just assumed we all just either sold it or knew somebody that sold it.
Because that's what their media taught them.
But
That's all black people in America do is smoke weed and commit crimes. And even when this point has been disproven many, many times, they still spout and talk this nonsense.
And not only that, it's just the arrogancy of it. Like us living, even though us living in the hood or the ghettos or whatever, we know what questions to ask and what questions not to ask, you know? But it was just the stupidity of them because they live this
Posh life.
they can just they go and acquire everything. They literally go and ask, do you know this whether it's good or bad? Because we all know a couple of them folks that actually grow that stuff in their backyard, like for their personal use. So I say that to say this, like they won't rat out their own communities. They know Jim Bob down the street. What's the movie? Chink and Chong. Cheek and Chong. We know they don't know them characters. They all got one of those characters in their neighborhood. They grows it in the backyard, and their mama hates them. We all know that. But with us, they would never go to Cheech and Chong and be like, "Can we get a score?" But with us, oh, you know somebody that sells it.
You must be rare to not smoke or
Yeah, and they didn't say that, but they looked at me like that. You know?
It's the same thing of when I came up and, I was associating with them. And all they spoke about was Rastafarian stupidity and weed. As if that was all they knew Jamaica about. And all they did was curse a lot of bad words. And I said to them that, we have many other words than bad words, right? Oh, that's a bad word. I didn't know. I was just, I was like, yo, you could always ask me what's a good word for this or what's a good word for that instead of just speaking dumb stuff to me.
Because they live this posh lifestyle where it doesn't matter what they say out of their damn mouth.
They've never had to
face the consequences for their actions.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the point we're trying to make. They never had to, and now, because they did what they did, they're going to face the consequences of their actions. And it may not be directly towards them, but it's going to come down the food chain line, the pipe.
It's going to come down. We're going to get into it.
We're going to get in.
We have, you don't do stuff like this without consequences, because even you have a lot of Black Americans to cheering this on as if it's, a good thing. We understand that, Black Americans as a people have been highly disrespected by, the Latino community, the Mexican community, the African community disrespect you. You understand? Even the Jamaicans, the Caribbeans come up here and disrespect you as well. But don't forget those of us who even marched with you during the civil rights era, especially the Jamaicans, who played a very significant part in helping out in the civil rights era. You understand? Many Jamaicans sacrificed them life. I don't know about any other place. I just know about the Jamaicans that helped and put their lives on the line just as how, you know. But to even Black Americans too who are cheering about this, don't forget that you guys like to take trips to these countries too as well. Some of you are on TikTok here mocking these people. And again, I'm going to tell you, I understand that they disrespect, they align themselves. A lot of them align themselves with white supremacy, then tether themselves to white supremacy, and now white supremacy is biting them in the ass.
But you guys gotta remember this. Because we have been awoken, we don't look at them as other. We look at them as that's Issachar, that's Ephraim being hurt right now. That's our brothers. That's our sisters. That's our aunts, uncle That's our family. That's our mispacha. That's our family that's being hurt right now. So it takes a different perspective. These black conservatives that are on TikTok and they're spewing the same thing.
Just black conservatives, a lot of Democrats too, black women,
The FBAs as well. They don't realize they're
FBAs have the
contributing to the
greatest
same
anger
thing.
towards it. And the thing about it is that it's always been about black people. All of this, they're doing this so they can get closer to black people in terms of harm. And I've heard so many stories about even them arresting people who are actual citizens and telling those people that their IDs are fake and stuff like that. How long before you think that gets around to black Americans? You already know that you are not immune to foul play. You're not immune to abuse with these people. You're not immune to it. They're going to get around to it. They're going to get around to it. This is like a test run for them to see what and what they can get away with. Right? We're gonna talk about the things that are going on right now. Let's start with current events with what's going on right now. We're gonna start. Oh, sorry, wrong one. Okay. Remember what I said. I said that I believe that Trump or his administration is leading the country to civil war. Right? A lot of people are saying the same thing that I'm saying. And a lot of the signs are there. A lot of us can ignore it all we want. Right? White people are gonna ignore it. But a lot of black people I know are paying attention and saying that this is leading the country towards civil war, as if on purpose they're trying to sink the country so that they can basically get their new world out of it. So we're gonna talk about um them wanting to see put Trump in for a third. They're trying to get legislations and policies passed and amend the constitution so Trump can get a third term. All right. So see, this is not a lie now. The main media, well, okay, the main media can lie, but many people are not lying about this. A Republican House member introduced a resolution to amend the US Constitution to allow President Trump and any other future president to be elected to serve a third term. These are just the key points. Representative Andy Ogles of Tennessee introduced the measure days after Trump was sworn in for a second non-consecutive term in the White House. The 22nd Amendment currently bars anyone from being elected more than two terms. All right. A Republican House member introduced a resolution Thursday to amend the U.S. Constitution to allow President Donald Trump and any other future president to be elected to a third term in the White House. Trump has proven himself to be the only figure in modern history capable of reversing our nation's decay and restoring America to greatness, and he must be given the time necessary to accomplish that goal, said Representative Andy Ogles of Tennessee, who proposed extending the current maximum of two elected terms. There is no getting around the decay of this country, the decay of this world. There's no getting around it. You understand? You can try to slow it down as much as you want. The Most High has already prophesied it in His Word. It is going to happen. This country is going to go down and it's going to fall. All right. Ogle's resolution is tailored specifically to permit Trump to serve Trump, this is specifically for Trump, to serve a third term, but not to allow 3 out of 4 of the living former presidents to serve third terms. Why? Because they were Democrats. Now, I'm neither Democrat nor Republican. I'm an independent person. I do not trust government. You understand? You have to live underneath it, but you don't have to trust it. You understand? You have to abide by the rules of the government. That doesn't mean that you have to trust them or believe that they're truthful. Former Presidents Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, and Barack Obama all served 2 consecutive terms and thus would be barred from being elected to a third term. But not Trump, who is the president since Grover Cleveland in 1892 to be elected to a second non-consecutive term. It is imperative that we provide President Trump with every resource necessary to correct the disastrous course set by the Biden administration, Ogle said in a statement. He is dedicated to restoring the republic and saving our country, and we, as legislators and states, must do everything in our power to support him, said Ogles, a hardline conservative who is serving his second term in the White House. I am proposing an amendment to the Constitution to revise the limitations imposed by the 22nd Amendment on presidential terms, he added. Ogle's move came 3 days after Trump was sworn in as president. The resolution also comes 2 months after Republican Representative Dan Goldman, a New York Democrat, introduced a House resolution that reaffirms that the 22nd Amendment applies to 2 terms in the aggregate as President of the United States and that the amendment applies to the 78-year-old Trump. Trump is 78 years old. He's pretty old, man. He is pretty old. Um, Let me explain to you people why something is wrong with that. Um, Especially coming from a country like Jamaica. I want to explain that. Um, for years, the the People's National Party. You have 2 parties in Jamaica: PNP and GLP. Jamaica Labour Party, which was green, People's National Party, which was orange. For years, I grew up under the PNP leadership of Jamaica and saw a lot of degradation of our Jamaican society. And not to say that the GLP is any better, but the more I saw PNP in power, the more I saw the harm that they were doing to the country and to the people itself. You understand? And we don't have that 2 term thing. They as long as they are voted in, they get to stay in power as long as they want.
Oh wow.
So every election, as long as these people are voted back in, they stay in their seats. If they're voted out, then the next party takes power. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we don't have this 2 term thing in Jamaica. I'm just giving an example as to why, more than 2 terms is bad for any country. You understand? Especially when you're ruling under somebody that don't do the country well. Even the scripture says that when evil is in power, the people groan. The people groan when somebody evil is in power. You know, that's scriptural. But right now, the next thing that I want to say is this: revokes the 1965 Act of Equal Employment Opportunity. That's our next fundamental problem that I don't see FBAs, some FBAs. I do see a lot of FBAs talking about it. But a lot of the FBAs are realizing what is actually taking place. You understand? And I want to say this. There are a lot of people that are wishing and hoping for Black Americans to get the reparations that they need and that they want. Because we know if Black Americans get the reparations, everybody else in the diaspora are going to have the testicular fortitude to ask for theirs. This is why a lot of Caribbean people even join these grassroots movements to help out in whatever way they can because they do believe in the movements. They do believe in the goals of the movement. They do believe that Black Americans deserve whatever it is that they're asking for. Don't believe that every single Caribbean person hates Black Americans. It is how we were conditioned. But when some of us come up here, we realize that, you know, we came down on the same ship with a lot of Black Americans, and we share the same problems. You understand? So that being said, a lot of people talking about how this was the 1965 Act was actually something that was problematic because it did not give jobs based on merit, which has always been untrue, right? Even in Jamaica, you've learned about this, in which that even when you were qualified and even 10 times more qualified than a white person, you were still denied the job. Why? Because you were, and you seriously, as black people, are fearing that the man has revoked and removed that that criminalizes and punish white people for their practice of doing and cheerfully doing and denying black people the right to earn a living through their qualifications. You have a lot of black men cheering for this because why? They have a problem with black women. You have a lot of black women cheering for this. Why? Because of their own freaking ignorance of why this act was put in the first place, believing that black people are unqualified people.
It's the selfishness. Both male and female are very, 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 very selfish. And people in general are very selfish. They live in this bubble. You have some um, Gentile Israelites that are just like, they made it a certain status, right? So
Mm,
they feel as though if I can do it, you can do it.
not,
Which is
not,
not, which is in some way is true, but for the majority of people that just want to work at Family Dollar, you know what I mean? Or at a nicer Family Dollar that pays more, you know what I mean?
Nobody's talking about how, people should be paying you like millions of dollars a year or something. People just want to live. People want to be able to afford a living. People want to be able to pay their rent, pay pay for food, and not worry about, if they're gonna be able to make the rent on time.
Can you imagine what's about to happen right now? So many people, so many people that are healthcare providers may get fired because he actually told them to fire the DEI hires. Well, not
Mhm.
fire them, but What is the word for it?
Well, a girl on TikTok, she made a video about being fired already. And
Oh
she doesn't know
wow.
why she's being fired. She says she hasn't stolen anything. She knows that she hasn't done anything bad. And she
Oh,
said this comes in after he revoked it. So you see, a lot of people are cheering and all them things there. Are you all entrepreneurs? Are you all people that have your
exactly.
own businesses
It's the
and hire people?
entrepreneurs that are doing this. It's either the entrepreneurs or the people that are in close proximity to them folks, and they feel as though they made it.
I believe so. It's not even that. I just believe it's a lot of people who are just pissed off at society and just believe that, they've already experienced everything bad, so there's nothing else bad that can come to them. With some FBA people, I see that they just have us. Can't call it arrogance, but I don't know why they no longer look at the bigger picture. They're just like cheering for all of this, not forgetting, because I think it would be foolish for them to forget that how quickly they are going to turn on them regardless, and that this was always about it still is, it still is, it's the it's always going to be about how they can abuse black people. Because like I said before, when they're done with them,
Trying themselves.
they're gonna turn it on you guys. They're not gonna stop. And they've already turned it on you guys by showing you, say, yo, they're attacking everybody same time. The revocation of the 1965 Equal Employment Opportunity Act is a demonstration that Trump is showing you guys, without even telling you, that he's not your president.
Their president.
He's their president. He's there for them. He's there to I told you, the man is known as the Great White Hope. You understand? And I'm not saying. I mean, when it came to voting, it was basically between the rock and a hard place. And like I said, I understood why. But boy, it's just, I don't know. I mean, I feel like either way it would have been bad. Mm, The reason why the Equal Employment Opportunity Act had to be in place is that regardless of, I said it before, regardless of you being qualified for a job, you were denied because of the color of your skin. Anybody who says otherwise is a liar. Anybody who says otherwise is a liar, because you know what? It is always to paint dark skin color people as subhuman, not smart enough, not good enough for this. When you're realizing so much information is coming out about what black people have created, what black people have invented, but yet still all these people have done is stolen and patented stuff that they didn't even create to make it look like they were the creators of it. But yet still, black people are the most unqualified people in the world, right? The most, and no matter how many times you try to push, especially black Americans down, or even Caribbean people down, they end up excelling far beyond what you've done to them. All right, let's move on. U.S. agents raid, you know, New Jersey business, and they basically arrest somebody who is a U.S. citizen, even when this person practically showed them, no, 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 this is doing that, son. Even when this person has practically shown them, let's just forget about that. Even when this person has practically shown them that he is a US citizen, they have taken the man's ID and said that this ID is fake. How long before You think it comes around to black people where they're stopping you in the middle of the street and saying, "Oh, you're an immigrant," when you're a natural born black American, and they say, "Show me your ID," and you say, "I don't have to show you anything," and they harass you, they rough you up, they take out your ID, and they say, "Oh, your ID is fake. We're gonna throw you in prison. We're gonna charge you for a fake ID, for a fake social security, and we're going to deport you to anywhere we want." When you are a naturally born FBA and ADOS, no, I don't care what you call yourself, but that's what the plan is. I can guarantee that's what the plan is, to do that to black people, to say, "Hey, no, you're not an American. I'm going to deport you." And deport you to anywhere that you've never been. You don't have no relatives to. You don't have no help. And you die in squalor in a country that you've never been to. You understand? A lot of FBAs can cheer this on all they want. Just know it is coming around.
FBAs have been woken up and we start following the commandments, walking around public with our fringes. That's when it's really going to happen. It's going to come a time where we are going to be targeted. They see us walking around with fringes on. Sisters, once they had um have our tassels on. What do you think is going to happen? We dress differently than everybody else. We talk differently. They hear us talking radio. So when they're outside and it snatches up. You know what I mean?
We also have to understand it now. You see, Elon Musk, right? And I want to do that video too right now too. Elon Musk so-called Roman salute.
He pulled the hell Hydra.
Elon Musk is hitting back at critics who say he made a Nazi salute during President Trump's inaugurations in a post on X, formerly Twitter.
Nope.
He found short.
There's controversy still
to those extremists who spread did this on a
Let's see if it works.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
So you might have seen.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
So I don't know if you people even heard the oomph behind that. That was the man. That was effort. Now let me tell you something. A lot of people don't understand that Nazis hated and do still hate black people. After you don't know that, but they did. As a matter of fact, they hated black people more than they hated the people that people were saying that, you know, they killed millions of them. They used to skin black people. So all these people talking about Roman salute, please, it's to stop. Like, you people aren't fooling anybody anymore. You're not. You're not fooling anybody. Nobody is believing this. You really and truly get up, fix your mouth, and talk about how this is a Roman salute and whatever. We know this is an anti-blackness. You have people talking about how, you know, the Jews aren't saying anything about it. They are. They are. See, look at this. He even did it twice. Two-factor authentication. This person says every adult on the planet knows exactly what that was. Exactly. See, look at this. What the hell was that? He isn't stupid. That was a calculated response. Right. There's nobody on this freaking earth, right? Hail Hydra.
And that's drop.
Right? There's nobody on this earth that you can fool and tell that this is that this is some kind of um what Roman salute, when in text it shows you that there's nothing to support the Roman salute. With people who are always talking about history shows that this is actually the Roman salute. Well, in recent history, it shows that it is the Nazi salute.
It's a difference.
Why would you skip past recent history and go into, like, go further down the line? Why? Because you want to say that it isn't what we say, what we've seen it is as. People want the ability. That's I tell you, a lot of people want the ability to do evil and be called good for doing evil. Woe unto you who call evil good and good evil, that change bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, that change darkness for light and light for darkness. Let's even get into that scripture verse right now.
Sometimes they said, "Oh, we took you from a better place. We brought you to a better place.
Mhm.
You guys got to work. You guys weren't living in. You guys were living in squalor in Africa. We took you over and gave you a better life. Rainbows and sunshine and kittens."
See, Joe? One to them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and lightness for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Woe unto them that are mighty to drink wine and men of strength to mingle strong drink, which justify the wicked for reward and take away the righteousness of the righteous from him. Therefore, as the fire devoureth the stubble, and the flame consumeth the chaff, so their root shall be as rottenness, and their blossom shall go up as dust, before they have cast away the law of the Lord of hosts, and despised the word of the Holy One of Israel.
All these white people cheering about this.
Mhm.
Gorillas and their
Well, you have the real Nazi people them come out, the neo Nazis them come out and say
no,
thank you, Elon Musk, for, you understand? There's nobody on this earth that don't know and think that he just did that. What's the word?
for America. Oh.
That he was giving out his heart to people. Oh, please. Oh,
But he was passionate.
passionately evil.
He was just playing his passion, babe.
You understand what I'm saying? Listen, people, if literal black Americans come and look at me and tell me, oh, how that is a Roman salute, I don't want to have anything to do with it. I don't want to agree.
Exactly.
I don't want to talk to you, because you will get me killed.
You will.
You will be one of the many people that will cause me to die. If you look at me and try to pacify me and tell me about how that's a Roman salute, I literally can only tell you this: you can't come with us where we're going. You can't. Because when the time comes, you have to face your comeuppance with that. You understand? In the movie Civil War, it talks about, what the president actually did. Right? And I'm going to scroll down and read what the president actually did in the movie. Trying to find it. I know I read it. I don't know why it's like gone. I know I read it somewhere, so I'm trying to go back to the part where I was reading about it. Where is the? Okay, you know what? I can't find it. I can't believe I just read it, but I can't find it. But if you're not sure of what happened in the movie Civil War, let me give you a brief synopsis quickly before we move on to our second point. In Civil War, the president he went into a third term, which is actually unconstitutional, right? He went into a third term, which is unconstitutional. He did away with the FBI and certain checks and balances that would keep his power in check, which means that he became a dictator in America. Seeing what is going on, the two um, polarizing states, which is a state of Texas, which is a red state, and the state of California, which is a blue state, two political states that basically do not like each other, obviously,
at all.
combined and made and seceded from the United States and basically formed a coalition and an army to fight against this president. Now, the understanding of this is this. He's trying to say that the president can become so tyrannical that basically you will have two people who do not like each other see the evil in that one person and combine their strengths to defeat that person. And that's what Civil War is about. But I want to go to the point of Civil War because what's happening now with Civil War. With why I think that Civil War is coming because mass deportation obviously took place, right? And there's a war. Boy, they're seeking, as you saw before, they're seeking to put him in for a third term. And what's gonna happen is that what they're going to probably try to do is that he and his cronies are going to dissolve the FBI, going to dissolve this, and going to dissolve that in that point in time. You understand? And this is the point that I'm trying to lead to is just that Civil War seems to be telling us what exactly that they're going to be doing. You understand? That they're telling us what exactly they plan to do to us. Right? Um, One other thing of Civil War that I know a lot of Black Americans aren't paying attention to with all this that's going on is that you have people like this right here, right? Fair use. People like this that actually exist right now in America that want the opportunity to do as they please because of who they are, right?
American.
It's a news agency.
I know what Reuters is.
Sir, okay. I'm just saying,
Just saying, just what?
well, you're American, okay?
Okay. What kind of American are you? Central American? South American?
Let me pause it. Do you understand? Do you understand what's going on? You have people making podcasts saying that Black Americans aren't even Americans.
That means for one test.
Not just Nick Fuentes. There's this other guy that's talking about how it was Americans that, gave them citizenships and stuff like that. But they're not. That's what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And I'm saying that why are FB cheering this type of people on? You understand?
What?
Florida.
Florida. Central.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Can you imagine if it was a black person there? He already gone. Wouldn't even ask any question. Just get you to your knees and pop out. You're gone.
What about you? Where are you from?
Tell him, Jesse. Missouri?
Missouri? It's the show me state, right?
These people actually exist. They exist right now. When you hear people talk about get out of my country, these are the type of people. And they would love for the law to once again be upon their side for them to do this. Right now, Mississippi is passing a law or trying to get a bill passed. Look at this. See? An act to create the Mississippi Illegal Alien Certified Bounty Hunter Program to provide definitions for to authorize bail bond agents and surety agents to enter the program to create the crime of illegal trespass ban illegal alien to bring forward. So this thing is basically for the purposes of this act, the following words shall have the meanings described herein. Certified bounty hunter means a person who possesses a valid unexpired license as a bail bond agent, general bail bond agent, or surety recovery agent. And 2 is certified under this act to find and detain illegal aliens in this state.
So regular bounty hunters are now.
And they said that they're $1,000 a piece. That's not a lot of money though, because you'd probably spend a lot of more resources just to get one person.
Not really. That's the thing. They know where everybody is at already.
Mm.
And who's not to say that they won't give them a list of where they think people are. Just like what they did. They went to Home Depot. They know where the people are. It's nothing to round people up. And now with the act that he put in that he can go into like places of worship, safe places, like places of worship, hospitals, and to schools to get people. It's not to say that a bounty hunter was stopping a bounty hunter legally.
Mm.
They make it the same.
The others will come directly to your
That's what I'm
yard
saying.
and try that foolishness. Then we'll break into your freaking house and they know that it's unlawful. This is where we are right now because these people exist.
Do you remember all about the Benjamins? With Ice Cube.
Yeah, Ice Cube was the bounty hunter.
And you see how crazy he was. What makes sure
chasing him down. You understand? Have him gone. Listen.
Busting through, breaking windows, and he literally went in there and got him.
This is a sport for white people to chase down people who they consider to be lesser than them, to harm them, to hurt them. This is a sport for them to do that. It's a sport for them. They want to hurt people. They want to harm people. They want to practically, boy, the Most High have to step in soon. Because if you look at me and tell me that they can't do away with your social security, call it fake, and then put you and say, "Boy, you're alien," you can't sit anywhere in that they'll do that to you.
Especially now when we're separating ourselves from black, quote unquote, black America. They, in their eyes, we're separating ourselves from black Americans. We're separating ourselves by our Yahweh given name. And they say, "Oh, so you don't claim to be American, so we can ship you back over to Jerusalem." It's that easy. That
Jerusalem, so then
they don't want you. We can put you outside in the borders of Jerusalem. We can ship you over to the quote unquote Middle Eastern. What's stopping them from doing that? Oh, you don't call yourself American? Okay.
You call yourself American? You're lying. That ID is fake. I've seen real IDs. That's not a real ID.
What you gonna think is? What you think is going? Oh, you call yourself American? No, you look like one of those Hebrew Israelites. Ship off.
But I'm talking about even people that don't look like us. The goal is just to do us harm.
Of course.
And a lot of people don't realize that the goal they no they've simultaneously attacked what you call immigrants and black people at the same time. And they're gonna ramp it up. As time goes on, it's going to ramp up. Laws and legislations and policies are going to be put in place once again to do harm to American black people. So those of us who are cheering that you have people being mass deported and you're happy and whatever it is, okay, be happy. Be happy for your moment of reprieve, for the one little second that white people take them eyes off of you. Because it's coming right back around.
Because we think about them like before we think about them folks and think, oh, they're just mild, they're fuddy duddy and mild. No, it even says in Genesis 27, and the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field, and Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in the tents. So we're two different type of people. We are two different type of people. These people love outside. This from me as a quote unquote American. Mother grew up in the South. We all we always would see and hear about how Esau would train his sons at a very young age, starting them off with BBs, shooting cans, and then they eventually teach them how to pop squirrels, and then they
Deer
hunting. No,
hunting.
they start off with little stuff with squirrels and raccoons at first. And then when they hit like 12, 13, that's when they started taking them hunting for deers and eventually bears and stuff like that. These people are naturally wild. They're they're they are naturally wild. They know, especially down south. Um, what was the area that burned in North Carolina? The flood, the mountains that flooded. I think it was last month. These people know the mountains like the back of their hands. They got all different types of supplies out there to do whatever to. They're preparing for this. They are they are preparing for this. For generations, they have been preparing for this down south. It's like if you go down to certain parts in what we're reading in Mississippi, you cannot go. They will shoot you if you step on their quote unquote property. If you touch their property, they have a gun waiting to shoot you. Just like with the sundown towns, they're waiting for the opportunity for your tire to blow.
Within their party lines, within the county lines.
And because nobody is out there, there's no cameras.
There's nobody to save you. There's nobody to help you.
Sometimes the phone connections is so bad that it's with your word, your dead word against theirs. Their alive words.
So it's as usual. It's another black person as usual to them.
So it's just so many things to think about. Like I would not want to live down south right now at all. Like at all. Like it's scary. Like at least like when we live in the city, so it's we live up north and we live in the city, so it's a lot of us. You know what I mean? So it's more safety in numbers. Because even if we have an altercation, if we go down like to the Costco or something with them folks and stuff, it's so many of us that's walking around. They'll think twice. But down south, it's a whole different ballgame.
It's more of them.
It's more of them, and it's no
more
camera.
of their mentality as well too. You literally have in Mississippi, and how long before the other states start to apply this type of bill, this type of legislation as well, to hunt human beings for profit?
Well, it's going. I really
under the pretense that it's the safeguard of the country.
think it's going to be like it was before. Like everything is becoming in reverse. Okay, black people, we basically migrated up north because it was safer, quote unquote safer, right? There wasn't that many restrictions like it was down south. It was less quote unquote racism. everybody went up to the north because it was quote unquote free.
Mhm. Mhm.
Now south is still, it never really changed. It never really changed. Though the
Mhm.
quote unquote laws changed, but the people mentality never changed.
People still having their own towns in a way. Mhm. Mhm.
They think they really do think twice about messing with us up here. Just like yeah, the twisted tea. You remember what happened when a guy called him the N word and he slapped him with the twisted tea? I think that was in New York or New Jersey and stuff. We have better dominion up here than we have down.
That's about to be removed. And you're gonna see, like I said before, you're seeing a lot of them move into black neighborhoods now. They're gonna start to gentrify it again. They're gonna start taking over, and they're gonna start pushing black people out. And basically, whenever you walk back through your own neighborhood for reminiscence sake, you want to reminisce of walking down the street. You're gonna call the cops on you about how you're some kind of suspicious character when you're just walking. You know. Um, Mass deportation is taking place. You have men in chains,
Saw that.
right?
Get ready with me to save some money.
I was
How, you may ask? I'm
Flights are the most visible sign of Donald Trump's hard turn on immigration. Up to 80 Guatemalan migrants were removed from the U.S.
These guys are Guatemalans, South Americans, and that look in chains and stuff, and whatever it is. They say that a lot of them are gang members. I don't believe that all of them are gang members. I don't believe that.
That's the thing. The gang members are hiding. They
Gang
sight out of mind right now. They got a new start up here.
whoever they caught though, they do catch some of the gang members and stuff. But here's my thing. Here's my thing, right? You're sending people home in chains and all them things. I said it before and I'm gonna say it again. Do you honestly, really and truly believe that they're going to go back and be peaceful when they say your people inside their country where you force them back into? You understand? Like many immigrants are here, they're abiding by the laws. You want to say, oh, they overstayed, they're taking up the resources, blah 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 blah, right? They they have you believing really and truly that there are jobs out there that you want that the immigrants have taken, not that they're stealing wealth, not that they're abusing you and taking what's from you, but that immigrants are taking from you. You really and truly believe that, right? That's not even the case. But you people really and truly believe that deporting this many people back into any country and those people have nothing. You take them bank account where them save up them money, them never get a chance. Well, some attorneys are now telling you what you can do in order to wire transfer your money, which is good. But you send these people back to their country and they see your people inside their homeland. What do you think is going to happen to your people?
Sometimes and kittens think they're gonna kowtow to you anymore.
You think they're not going to do harm to the people that's there?
The bubble has popped. The imaginary bubble of how they portrayed y'all has popped.
Mhm.
They thought about y'all as this nice and like
Rainbows, unicorn, and sunshine, and they're realizing that white people are not. Mhm.
when y'all go over to the resort or y'all want to go. Y'all know y'all don't like to stay on the resort because like I said,
Mhm.
we didn't.
You love to
So
go
it was a
local
funny
food because
hunter,
say
man in the
local
field.
food is better than resort food.
And a man in the field, you saw you know what he's gonna do? I want to go off road. I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take me on a tour?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see. I want to see the
I can
neighborhoods.
speak for Jamaicans. You really and truly believe that you're going to deport some of these Jamaicans and them just go and go back home peacefully and say, oh, see a white person there, man, just leave them alone. Them a make life in our country, even though we can't make life in theirs. You really and truly believe that doing this is not going to have any. You see, like I said before, a lot of people cannot think for 4 months in front of them face. because they believe in this arrogance of American power. It's a power trip, believing that America or Americans can't be touched.
Right.
A lot of pride. And the problem is that when you send people to their home country and they have to go back in shame, in chains,
Can you
broke
imagine?
and pauperized, they have to be mocked by people that they left behind. They have nothing to show for it. You really and truly believe there's going to be no consequences for the people that are currently. No, no, let me tell you something. This goes both ways. People always talk about how, people immigrate to the Americas. Oh, but yeah, me put it up, man. People immigrate to the Americas and then get illegal. Do you know how many illegal Americans are in Jamaica right now? Do you know how many illegals are in Brazil? How many illegals are in the Philippines? How many illegals are in Japan? You see, these are things that nobody ever talks about because everybody wants to portray white people as some kind of abiding people
You do know wrong.
that can do no wrong. As if you people don't do the exact same thing that you complain about. You go to countries, you overstay, you abuse the people too. And many of you have that arrogancy to do it, to abuse the people in their own land as a foreigner. Do you honestly, really, and truly believe that there is no consequence for this mass deportation? At this point in time, a lot of people are realizing that America is their enemy and they're going to act such. As I said before, a lot of people cannot think for 5 minutes in front of them damn face. They cannot think for 5 minutes in front of their damn face. What is that? Obadiah 3. Let me put it up.
That's what you're talking about. Listen.
The pride of thy heart hath deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground?
Oh, I remember.
Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord.
This is prophecy, especially verse 4. When you think of eagle and when you think of stars, what do you think of? When you think of the eagle and when you think of stars, our symbol, the eagle and stars, our flag. What the Most High say He gonna do? I'll bring thee down to the ground, Esau.
Every empire that has had the eagle as their symbol, to say that they're soaring as high as the eagle and with the stars around it, has been brought down and destroyed.
And it's the fact that they took everything from us. Everything. Everything. And they pridefully took everything from us.
No, I think it's what?
Verse 5.
If thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen till they have had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they not leave some grapes? How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him.
It's not.
Shall I not in that day, saith the Lord, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau. And thy mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed to the end that every one of the mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. Now I want to go back to this thing with kind of American are you, right?
Yes.
Isn't that what they call it?
I'm gonna
Yes. I don't know.
It is American, 100%.
where's the part where he takes out the guy?
Why do they call it
It
the
was all in the front.
He took out, let me
He
see.
took out one.
He took out this guy. Yeah.
Yeah. This guy's your colleague? This guy here?
Yes, sir. He's my.
Again, there are people out there that literally want to just look at black people and do that.
Because obviously we can see that he's either like Mexican or probably Mexican.
Right? So the whole point of that movie is to show that these people actually exist, and that this is the time that they've been waiting on, a time of lawlessness, or a time of being able to act with impunity the desires of their hearts. So a lot of people, I keep saying it again, FBA, you already know what it's about with these people. You understand? Oh, okay, here it is. Yeah. So the reasoning behind the bizarre alliance of tech, now this is the Civil War movie of why the Civil War happened. The reasoning behind the seemingly bizarre alliance of Texas and California in the film as an indication that the war isn't over Democrats and Republican politics, but more about Offerman's, that's the president, corrupt three-term presidency. The United States federal government has disavowed its allegiance to the United States Constitution. So basically, it is acting outside of the Constitution. It's basically saying that the Constitution is not what it's going to be using to govern itself anymore, and is now held under the budding dictatorship of Offerman's tyrannical president. Offerman's president has disbanded the FBI, used military force against American citizens, and has refused to give up his executive power by disavowing the system of checks and balances that the United States has been built on since its inception. So, if you don't see what's happening right now as a foreshadowing, as that movie is a foreshadowing of what is to come, then I don't know what else to tell you people. This is literally like the movie Civil War. It's literally like the movie Civil War. They're telling us what exactly that they're going to be doing to us. So he's removing all the things that offer protection to black people so that he can do or put laws and policies in place that are going to harm black people. And you have people cheering, the black people, you have black people cheering that he has revoked the 1965 Equal Employment Opportunities Act, an act that was used to criminalize people who basically discriminated against, because I was trying to say discriminate and against at the same time. Discriminated against you as a black person, not based on your qualifications for a job, but because of the color of your skin. You think these people still don't exist? They've been showing you that they still exist. There's a reason why Karens still exist. You think all these people from the 1960s just went off and faded into the wind? They grew older. They had children. They have grandchildren. Some of them probably have great grandchildren. And all of these people are taught this hate.
Just like we're growing up the next generation of righteous kids because we have woken up into who we are. They're growing the next generation of wickedness.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. They are growing the next generation of wickedness. Friends and family, we are closer to the coming of the Mashiach more than we've ever been right now. Because persecution of the people of the Most High is coming. And you must prepare yourself for what is to come. Nobody can look at me and tell me, say, like even Truth Unedited last night, he was talking about how he's seen a shift in how people are waking up and accepting the truth of who they are. And as I said before, the more of us wake up, the closer our redemption draws near.
Just like Psalms 58:3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. So out the womb.
Psalms what?
Psalms 58:3.
Psalms 58:3.
Yeah, from the womb. They are liars from the womb. They're wicked from the womb.
What? Psalms 58, verse 3.
That's right.
You know what? I never write it right. The wicked estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking
Yep.
lies.
So they are growing.
So this is what I was talking about, where how they always talk about how their children are innocent of all of this.
Yep.
Yet still you see how wicked their children are when they try to drown black kids.
Their little girls always come crying and stuff and whining and crying, but they're doing it in a manipulative way. It's not, oh, they're growing up and it's not developmental. You can see that they manipulate from a very early age.
They learn from a very early age that in order to get people into trouble, they cry their tears. And believe me, white women, you're going to pay for that.
And they teach their daughters to do the same thing from an early age.
The Most High is going to punish you people for doing that. You women. The many black men that were lynched and hung.
So especially.
Even me that was lied upon. If there was not, and I keep saying it, if there was not a witness in my situation, which was a white woman, I probably would be in prison right now. You understand? You people cannot be trusted. And a lot of you keep saying, oh, we're allies. We don't believe you and we don't trust you. I'm sorry. It's not even about you trying to prove that anymore. We don't want you to try and prove it. Just understand that we just don't trust you. Just live with that. Just live with the fact that you will never be trusted. Yeah, we're on your side. You will never be trusted.
It's always
we will never trust
an agenda
you.
with these. It's always an agenda with these.
The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but power was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Yup.
55.
Psalm 55. I don't know. I don't know if I want to get into the study about this until probably tonight, because I think this was a very important thing to talk about. It was really weighing on my heart. It's been weighing on my heart. I look at it and I'm like, how can people foolishly support all these acts that are happening right now? Pretend like it's not harmful to even black people in general. How can you pretend as if it's never been about? You think after you think it's just been about the immigrants. It's not.
Much bigger.
It's always going to be much bigger than that. It's a grasp on power that they feel that they're losing. When they did this, it's a grasp on the power that they feel that they're losing. They feel like they're losing control of this, that. The man sent 1,500,
1,600.
1,600
I think it was 1,600.
troops to the southern border. Look at how troops are arriving at the southern border.
They got so much money to do this.
Mm-hmm. Look at that. Look at this. Fair use, people. Fair use. Look at this. And military crafts are being used to deport these people. That's what they're using to deport them, you know? Let me get a video of it. Just like, look at that. Look at this. Look at this. Look at these videos. I want to see where the hell them flying in. That's the one I'm looking for. For when they're flying in. Hey, when this happens. I wonder if, all right, you know what? Let me do this.
Southern border, part of Good Morning Mary. And this morning,
Look at this.
This morning, we are seeing signs of his long-promised crackdown as the 1,500 troops sent to the.
Look at that. Look at that. Military. Military. Do you know what the US military is actually even known for? I don't even want to say it. I don't even want to say it. But look at the scope of what's being done there. Do you really and truly believe that at any point in time it won't be turned on you, the American people, white or black? The lower whites, actually, the ones.
Y'all either. They the spies though.
There's something I spoke about, but I want to talk about it again. When you deport this much people, it also affects the country economically. Because these immigrants, they actually, believe it or not, they pay billions in taxes too. And most of them don't even benefit from the taxes they pay because they're not citizens. When you're an immigrant, you don't benefit from refunds or anything like that. But you pay taxes in good faith because you want to show the government that you're willing to do the right thing to get your citizenship in America. That's something that a lot of you don't talk about. You understand? The country is going to go backward economically and in several ways. I'm not just gonna talk about taxes. These people, they pay for car notes, they pay for renting housing, they pay for phone bills, they pay for internets, they pay for insurance. If you really and truly think that these companies that earn billions of dollars off of immigrants are going to sit there and allow this to happen, you have another thing coming. There is no corporation, no greedy corporation that is going to sit down and allow billions of dollars to walk out of their pockets. So when this starts to really and truly take effect, when they go back to their country and they start supporting their country with whatever money they have, and they're no longer paying for the phone bills here, internet is gonna go up. Phone bills are gonna go up. Things are going to go up because they need to make that profit margin that they've always been making easily with illegal people. You understand? The cost of food is going to go up.
Astronomically.
Many people did not show up to work for these past couple of days.
Yep. Because either they were taken away, or B, they're not going to be out in the open because now of the new law that they can come and get these people in mass. They can just show up and get you at your job.
Mm-hmm. It's on TikTok, you know. I mean, they're not showing it on the mainstream. I can't believe they're not showing it on mainstream.
They went because
But the many farms that are empty right now.
refuse to show up to work.
Let's start with this one. Yeah. John Yu coming back to Philadelphia. Yo, them people that love come to Philadelphia, come do it.
President Donald Trump has empowered ICE and Border Patrol.
Two days.
Yes. That's why I
let's
predict
listen
other
to
farmers that if there were
He's a Trump
a
supporter.
mass roundup of undocumented migrants, that you might lose workers. You might not have enough workers.
Well, the question I asked, how they going to do that? Within 2 days, we will not have food. There will not be food anywhere.
2 days.
Yes.
2 days. Because he has people working around the clock. He says 24 hours to like produce milk alone. He has people working around the clock. Yeah, I watched this video before. Round the clock. 24 hours to produce the milk that we get every day in that freaking supermarket.
And not only that, the cow, a lot of the times the cows, what happens? They get mastitis, same as human women.
Yeah, but that's why you have
And
like
the cows get a fever and they can get an infection. They can die. It's like,
but that's why you have like these people now around. When you have these people around, you have somebody that can actually take care of the horse, the cows, making sure that the cow. Why do you think we're getting better milk lately? Because you have people now, they're hiring them at a cheaper cost, and now they're able to practically say, hey, all right, we need somebody to take care of the cows, make sure that the cows are well taken care of, in good health and things like that.
That's why I predict nobody will be filling the shelves, nobody will be producing food. If we once have to shut down and be gone, it's never coming back.
Does Governor Noam understand that?
I would think so.
Do they understand that? Oh,
People, a lot. Again, I learned this from like my first grade in high school. In Jamaica, it's different in Jamaica in terms of high school. Things don't we start from you go to you have primary, secondary, tertiary schools in Jamaica. Primary school, we go from grades 1 through to 6. Sometimes you can leave grade 5 and go to high school, and then you start over your grades. We call it Form 1. First form, second form, third form, fourth form, fifth form, sixth form in high school as well. In my first form of high school, my first year of high school, we were taught about supply and demand. And this was in maths class. You understand? They teach you how important it is to have a large supply of food. And they taught us why food got expensive during the hurricane. You see, when food is in small quantities, the demand for food is going to grow. When the demand for something that is rare grows, the person who is selling it is going to give it to the person who can pay the most for it. That's why it's called supply and demand. The demand is higher than what the person can supply. And so because it is rare, he is going to raise the price of it. because he realizes that no one else have it. So now, because no one else has it, I am able to sell it at whatever price I deem its value to be. And that's going to be happening very, very soon. If you look at TikTok, you saw many people practically walk out. Farmers are looking at empty farms. They say like one or two persons show up to work. Those are probably the person that are legal. And even so, even if they're legal, they're still targeting them. Even if these people are legal, they are still targeting us. Lots of people are either staying home or you have people even self-deporting themselves back to Mexico or wherever they came from. It won't be too long either where a lot of us, um, even if we have our green cards, we're going to see it as animosity and decide that we're going to go home too. A lot of Jamaicans naturally don't come to America to live in America for the rest of their lives. A lot of Jamaicans come, they save the money, they buy land, they build on the land, they go home and retire on the land. That is a lot of Jamaicans. A lot of Jamaicans don't want to really, retire in America. It's never been their goal. That's why a lot of Jamaicans they even stay single. They don't get the green card or nothing like that. Because even if they get deported, if they've already done substantial work back home, they go back home and they go live in the house. But this is a problem. This is a fundamental problem that we are facing right now. Babylon is coming up to its climax and its climatic fall. And all the countries that you have deported, these countries are going to probably join BRICS. They're not going to respect America because of how America has treated its people and how America has actually been treating them. They're going to join BRICS, and then the American dollar is going to continue to slip. And who's going to face the effects of that first? Middle class and lower class people. And then the upper class will feel the effects afterwards because you can only stand on your wealth for oh so long before it affects you as well. But that is literally what's coming for America. You can't do these things without consequences. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of people just feel like they're arrogant that nothing is gonna happen and America is this big, tough, powerful dragon and stuff like that. That may be true at one point in time. It is not true anymore. It is certainly not true anymore. Yep. Your final thoughts.
Wait for the destruction to begin so we can go home. Save this time. Really am.
I believe that many of us want to go home to the Most High. Yeah, I do believe that's how I feel. But my main point of doing this thing is because I'm looking at how this deportation thing is going on. Lack of understanding of what it means when you deport so many people. If you do like a couple hundred people a year, that's different. Because they'll be angry, but they won't like be able to what's the word? Meet up with others. But when you deport so many people one time, you're actually creating problems.
And I honestly think that military is there for the backlash, not for deporting people. It's for the backlash. I think that's why they're armed like that. That's why them Tonka trucks is over there. That's why them helicopters is over there. They know what's up because we don't have access to the Mexican news and stuff. We're not seeing it. You know,
You're
we
right.
don't know what's going on
You're
on the other side
right.
of the
You're
world.
right.
If they're
Absolutely.
planning to revolt, Guatemala, all those other countries that they just deported the people back to. We don't know what's going on the other side of the world because we don't see the news. They could be on the other side of that wall revolting right now. They just standing there waiting for it.
I mean, I know he signed an executive order for them to go after the cartel.
And that's the thing. As much as Mexicans, the Mexicans hate the cartel. They hate MS. I think it's 13. They will band with them just for this. Just for this. Just for this.
Just for
The
this.
enemy of my enemy is my friend. They will ban for that just for this. It would not surprise me at all. You done peed them people off.
Of us are too nearsighted. We're not seeing the bigger picture. We're thinking that, oh, them just getting deported and stuff like that. No. You're deporting a lot of people one time. One time, deporting a lot of people one time, and you honestly, really and truly believe that they're just gonna go quietly. They're just gonna go back into their countries quietly. You're gonna probably hear by next week that a lot of American white people are turning up, lifeless, that their lives are being ended violently. You're probably gonna start seeing videos of them being abused in the streets.
Remember with somebody just got popped the ice
Yeah, and somebody just popped the ICE agent. Yeah.
They don't know who did it.
So they're not going quietly. They are not going quietly.
I just got one Bible verse, Psalms 137.
Psalms 137.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Verses 7. No.
So 7 verse 9.
7 through 9. 137. Verses 7 through 9.
Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed. Happy shall he be that rewarded thee as thou hast served us.
Yep.
Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Let's talk about that when we never read the verses before. So that's all I got to say. Happy is he.
Happy shall he be. Yeah, these criminals aren't afraid to do that to kids. So,
because I think even when like set somebody on fire, because like I said, we live in this bubble in America. Like we live in this bubble in America where it's like even like us in the black community, the quote unquote black community. What's the worst we're gonna do? Shoot each other, right? No, these people ain't playing. They don't. It's only so much you can do to a person, put them in an environment for so long, and think that it's not going to come to you.
That's what I'm saying.
Cause we lived a rough ass life, but a lot of people live a rougher life. You know what I mean? The curses, but we all had experienced the effects of the curses different ways.
Absolutely.
Just like we are all waking up around the world, but in America, we had greater effect in slavery. It's more mental right now. Mental slavery that's going on with us right now. We're still feeling the tranquil effects of slavery, like the chattel slavery. Where it's in Mexico, like it's a lot of things that are that they don't talk about. Just like you have some quote unquote African Nigerian Israelites, they go through a lot. They go through a lot. I mean, a lot. The worst we have over here, the worst we can do to each other is pop each other, and we all go to her funeral. That man set that woman on fire. Just imagine the life that he was used to. That was nothing for him to do that. Just imagine the life he lived from wherever he came from.
One thing, when that happened, when the man set the woman on fire on the train, one thing I was asking myself is, Was there something in particular that woman had said to him
Exactly, or did something
or
because you
did
just
to
don't
him?
do
You
stuff
don't
like
just get
that.
up and like people think that people just come out of nowhere and just set people on fire.
No,
Like every time you hear about a school shooter or anything like that, these people have manifestos. These people,
talk about what they had, what happened to them,
what happened to them,
who
and
bullied them, and their
mhm.
parents, what they did.
And we
After
keep
the
pretending in
fact.
society that these attacks come out of nowhere.
Hmm.
Like, oh my God, it's so random. It's not
He was such a
random.
good boy. No, no, no,
Hmm.
no. It's just a school shooting. I think what 2 days ago.
The guy, the black guy, the little black boy that did it, talk about how he's a subhuman and he followed Candace Owens and the thing like that. But we can't attribute him blaming Candace Owens for thinking that he's subhuman and all them things are. You understand? Because that's how they're gonna talk about us, about how we,
Regardless.
right? They're gonna say about how Hebrew Israelites encourage, people to be evil to white people, and they're a danger to society. The society.
No, we encourage us to stay by ourselves. We
We
encourage
encourage
that.
each other to follow the law of the Most High.
Yep, and stay and stay in our group. When you follow the law, you naturally want to stay in your group. You're going to naturally stay within the 12 tribes. You're not going to do business that much with outsiders. Everything is going to be within your own confines. So they're getting back to that slowly but surely. That's why I love Etsy. Y'all gonna be seeing a couple of vlogs. A couple of reviews that I'm going to do. A couple of sellers on Etsy about like this product set I bought. It feels so good that I can just buy stuff from my aunt to my uncles. Instead of having to going to the white man to get like menorah jewelry and stuff like that. I'm actually contributing to our economy
Absolutely.
instead of the white man's economy. Because even if I buy, because even if I buy something for like say Hanukkah or something, I have to go to them. But now we are doing everything.
And it goes back to the point, where talking about reparations, where they talk about how you have some white people disrespecting black people, how all they're gonna do is waste it on Jordans and stuff like that. If that's the case, right, why don't you just give it to us and let us waste it on
Let us do
Jordans then?
it.
And then you can always say, well, you see, we gave you your reparations and you didn't do anything with it. So now you can't ask us for nothing because it's not your fault. That's untrue because in the past, it showed that even when we didn't have reparations, we built cities and we built villages and we built our own towns and we stayed away from you people. And yet
Black
still,
Wall Street.
Black Wall Street, not just black, there's many Black Wall Streets.
I forgot the name of the town. It was built on top of a lake, and they submerged the whole town. Not the way to the
Talking about New York City, the Central Park.
Now it was another one down south. It was a. That's what I'm saying. It's always a common theme.
To drown out the city.
We're talking about two different cities, but it's always a common theme. We must kill them. We must destroy them. We can't let them level up in any way.
Can't make them rise above us. Because the thing about it is that, all right, watch this. Who was doing all of that? It was mainly the so-called middle class people who claimed to be better than black people, right? But saw that these black people were becoming, more stable than they were and stuff like that, pulling themselves up by them bootstrap. And every time they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, you went in and you murked them. You understand what I'm saying? The problem with this is that they know that if they give black people reparations right now with the technology that exists and the technology that black people can actually create with the monetary resources amongst its own people, with owning our own factories, owning our own banks, owning our own this, owning our own that, and even still paying back into the US economy taxes. So they wouldn't be able to say, oh, these people are by themselves and not paying taxes. No, we're paying taxes to the system, and probably our taxes would be higher than their taxes too. And we still would be able to afford it. Right? We just want to be left alone to live in peace. Right? And we have our own communities built up and all that stuff. They know and they don't want our black people. Their biggest fear is not having somebody to punch down on. And when black people move away, and we will, When the gathering happens, we will move away, and you will not have us to punch down on. You're going to come in search of us. You know? But I thought it was very important that we talked about this. This was weighing on my heart. The whole week it was happening, it was weighing on my heart.
We both had this feeling of this
Dread.
yeah, our spirit.
So I believe that many other believers are experiencing dread as well.
It's like mourning. That's what it feels like, mourning.
The time that is coming, or that time that is rightly upon us, is going to be a very dark time right now. And I know a lot of you feel it. I know a lot. It don't even matter. I feel like white people even feel it too, that there's a time of dread upon them.
No.
You know, it's not gonna get there. Trump is not a white savior. The country is going to dip. It's going to sink. I don't know people economically that really look at this as a very good economic move. Anyway, people, we're gonna see in another Bible study tonight where we're gonna talk about Adam and Eve and a lot of stuff. But we really wanted to cover this topic because it was something that was bothering us.
And that night, that about 2 nights ago, I couldn't sleep. And then I finally went to sleep. I went back and forth. I'm just waking up and I saw a Bible verse in my head. In and out when I was in and out of sleep, and it was Genesis 38:19. I just saw it clear as day, Genesis 38:19. And it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it scared the mess out of me. But I think it was a warning. It was a warning.
Read this and then we'll close out.
Yep.
And she arose and went away and laid back her veil from her and put on the garments of her widowhood.
That's what I saw. That's what I saw.
That's what's going to be happening to America.
And that's what I saw. I just felt in the dread. It was like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. Just in and out of sleep, and it was saw a flash of Genesis 38.
Mm-hmm. I wouldn't be surprised if by next week we start hearing about what that some white people are turning up in our lives in these countries that these people go back to.
But they're gonna go ahead and little cruises and parties, and
then once the party is done, they're gonna find them where they live. They don't care if you bought the land. They don't care if you bought the house.
Get out.
They're good. Yeah, they're gonna tell you to leave the country, or they're gonna unalive
leave your stuff and get out.
Leave your stuff and get out. It's not going to be peaceful. A lot of people think that white people are, this powerful around the world. People are getting pissed off with you around the world. They don't want you in their countries anymore either. And again, a lot of you go into their countries illegally. You stay there illegally. You overstay your visas and thing. You overstay your welcome. You buy land, and you abuse the natives of the land. This is very common in Jamaica too. And I'm just saying, like, worldwide, people are going to start retaliating. But you see, we know for a fact that, this whole deportation thing, it's not against Europeans, even though we know that Europeans come here and overstay, and even some Europeans come here illegally. We know that there's no deportation for Europeans. You're not seeing any Europeans being deported.
Yeah, nobody's talking about these Ukrainians that came up here in mass. What was it, a couple of months ago? From quote unquote refugees because of the war with Russia. Nobody's talking about that.
Because remember, they're same skin color, same eye color, same hair texture, same all of that. They're not going to be seen as criminals, but once your skin dark, you are seen as a criminal. Even if you do all the right things. That's why they keep saying, "Oh, come here legally, come here legally." We do want you to come here. We want you to come here legally. When you come here legally, they treat you like a criminal regardless. Unless your skin color is the correct skin color. But anyway, people, conversation for another time. Enough love and respect. Peace. We